So we've been spending a lot of time talking about how the standard bearers for the key parties are doing in the United States, and it's having an impact across the country for lots of candidates, whether they stay on supporting their candidates or not. But many are worried about what the impact is down ballot. Ladd, take a moment and tell us what the impact might be, if any, and what these candidates are worried about.
It's been an interesting kind of a tap dance, a delegate situation where I remember as far back as the Republican convention, who didn't show up because Trump was going to be the nominee. And also this, I will vote for Trump, but I won't endorse Trump, you know, trying to figure out what the difference in that is. And so early on, there was a concern, if Trump is at the top of the ticket, what does it mean for other races down ballot? And for the Democrats, you know, Hillary Clinton, not, you know, high unfavorables here in Utah as well. So there was that concern. I don't think we're seeing it because people have played it almost, you know, not too safe, but in their point of view, like Mia Love early on did not go to the convention, has not said she was voting for Trump, and so she can't, you know, be attacked for that. And so in that race we see there, but also Doug Owens saying that he's voting for Clinton but not endorsing. So in terms of people distancing themselves from Trump, I don't see that we're having that danger with the down ticket races.
What's been fascinating to watch is 6 months ago, a lot of legislative candidates in both parties were saying, what's going to be the Trump effect? Because the Republicans are worried. You had a lot of former blue-collar Democrats coming out and vote. What does that mean? The other Democratic candidates saying, oh, how do we capture those voters? What no one predicted 6 months ago was how unpopular Trump is going to be. Going again to the unpredictability of the 2016 elections, what has the Republicans have been successful nationally, but even locally, is the compartmentalizing. He's not really a Republican. Look at me alone, or look at me amongst, you know, just Utah Republican values. That has succeeded very well in Utah.
Let's talk about some of the local politics for the Republican Party. Andrew, I know you had a chance to see the Republican Party leader, James Evans, for the state of Utah. Had sort of a moment on CNN, and there's been some ramifications since then.
Well, for the people that didn't see it, raised questions or raised the theory of Bill Clinton having an illegitimate son. He took some heat for that and started receiving some threats to the point where he's actually moved his staffers outside of the Republican Party headquarters downtown. They're all spread around. Interesting to note, though, even before that happened, a couple of days before, I went to interview him on a story. He didn't want to talk outside. So it seems that the local Republican Party has been feeling some heat. Don't know how exactly, if it was the endorsement of Trump or what exactly, but there has been some apprehension for some time there.
What's interesting to me is traditionally the Democrats would get together on election night and have fun knowing they're not going to prevail, whereas the Republicans get together very quietly and watch the election returns and usually prevail. This year is very fascinating. You have all these different camps, all the different major campaigns have their own where they're watching. They're not joining in with the Republican Party and James Evans. That's sending a subtle signal that they're concerned about the state party.
And I think McMullen does factor in because that Trump effect early on, as we look back to caucus night, where he came in a distant third, and you thought, well, people are just going to stay away. But now you have maybe someone like a McMullen doing well, or Trump doing poor nationally, and so it looks like Clinton could do well in Utah. That could motivate people to get out and vote, and so there's not that threat of a low turnout for the down ballot races.
That certainly is the big concern as people start feeling that they're being threatened in some way, or there's some intimidation factors for the voting, to make sure people still do show up.
But remember, in Utah, the other thing is all the stuff about intimidation doesn't mean anything because in every county but two, it's all mail-in balloting. What, do people knock on your door and intimidate you? So it's a moot issue here in Utah.
Andrew, you had a comment?
You know, just in general, I don't know if we've seen a time where these things happen. And you know, it's kind of sad that we live in a world, and you know, speaking probably more as a person than a journalist, that you know people have to deal with threats regardless of what's said out there. Evans himself said, yeah, it's, you know, there's politics and then there's this, and certainly you know, civility. You know, you have to question where that is sometimes when people make threats after things that are said.
Sometimes you do. But this is so interesting to watch, isn't it?
It's a great, for political junkies, this is a great year.
No one could have predicted.
Some people are having some anxiety. Frank is just loving it. So we have that. Thank you so much for all of you being here today. Very insightful.